At the beginning of 2025, I set a goal for myself to read 10 new books. And it's almost the end of March, and so far I've read 8. So I think that's pretty good, considering I'm a pretty slow reader. I think I've done pretty well so far. Please clap. Thank you. One of the books that I had put on my TBR was The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I kind of put it there somewhat reluctantly, but I was also kind of curious because I know that book is probably still is, a whole, like, it's a book talk book, it's a TikTok book. It became really popular on TikTok, which probably should have been my first warning. But then again, I read and enjoyed the Twisted series by Anna Huang. So should I really be talking? But I wanted to give The Spanish Love Deception a try, and when I told my friend about it a few weeks ago, she was like, oh my gosh, yes, it's so good. It's so fun. You should definitely read it. And I trust my best friend, so I decided to give it a try. And now I don't know if I trust my best friend anymore. So yesterday I started listening to The Spanish Love Deception while I was undoing my braids, and I decided that I will not be finishing it. Before I decided to put that book on my TBR, I had heard mixed things about that book, because sometimes I watch, like, I read these books so you don't have to, or something. Most of the things I had heard about The Spanish Love Deception were meh, but I decided that I wanted to give it a try and form my own opinion. Go in there with an open mind, not looking to rip this book to shreds or just blindly praise it or whatever. I just wanted to give it a try and see what I thought. I listened to the first 4 chapters, and that's how it's going to stay, because I didn't like it. Now, I'm not a booktuber, and I'm not looking to be a booktuber. I'm just a person who likes to read books and wants to read more of them, and I'm here to give my opinion, and my opinion is that The Spanish Love Deception is not very good. One of the first thing I notice is that the scenes drag on for so long. I'm pretty sure, like, the first chapter where Aaron Blackford is like to Catalina, the main character, like, yeah, I'll be your date to the wedding. He's offering to be her date to Catalina's sister's wedding in Spain. Like, he's offering. And since the main character is annoying and acting very unprofessional at work, she's just like, nope, I'm ignoring you, even though you're right behind me. And I feel like that scene dragged on for so long, and like Catalina's friend was there, like translating, like being some sort of mediator, and it was so annoying. It lasted like 20 minutes. I don't know what that translates to in pages, but it dragged on for so long, and I was getting so bored, but I decided to keep going until the 2nd chapter, and then that was boring. And then the 3rd one was also boring. I found myself zoning out while I was hands like this, undoing my braids. It was so boring. Another annoying thing that I feel like people have pointed out before, the main character is obsessed with mentioning Aaron Blackford's blue eyes like every other page, I assume, or at least every other minute. For me, listening to the audiobook, his blue eyes were being mentioned so many times. Like, I get it. He has blue eyes, okay? I feel like you'll need to mention that once or twice, and then I feel like the reader can pick up on the fact that he has blue eyes. You don't have to keep mentioning it every other page or whatever. It's it's annoying. It became comical to me, and I only listened to 4 chapters. It was bad. Now, don't get me wrong, blue eyes are cool, but like, she mentioned it, like the main character mentioned Aaron's blue eyes, or like the blue-eyed man, or like the pair of blue eyes staring into me, or his ocean eyes. I'm like, okay, Billie Eilish, his icy blue gaze, or his blue orbs. Like, orbs was actually mentioned in the book. Like, she actually referred to them as orbs at one point. And at that point, I was like, okay, I think we're done here. As someone who's been reading fanfiction since I was like 12, there's nothing I haven't seen, and orbs is like a very like popular like thing that shows up in fanfiction, usually on Wattpad, just to describe eyes. Like, you can call them eyes. Like, you don't need to pull out a thesaurus for every single time for just the most basic word. You can just say eyes. Blue eyes are cool and all, but she keeps mentioning them as if they're like this exotic thing. What about brown eyes? Brown eyes are cool. Brown eyes are beautiful. And I'm not just saying that because I have brown eyes and I'm biased. But we don't need to mention his blue eyes all the time. Like, I looked it up, and the amount of times in the entire book that Catalina mentions Aaron's blue eyes is 108 times. 108 times. Another thing I noticed is that she keeps saying his full name a lot. I feel like that's a thing that happens in like these romance books where we just say the male love interest's full name. Like, she's always like, there he was, Aaron Blackford. And it's like, okay, we know his name is Aaron Blackford. Can we not say his full name? How many times does she say his full name in the entire book? I'd like to know, because I won't be continuing. I know that this book is supposed to be like enemies to lovers, which is a very popular trope in romance books, and I like it. I think that trope can be fun if it's done right, if the two main characters are actually enemies and they dislike each other, and then over time they actually like each other and eventually fall in love. That's good if it's done right. But in this book, the two characters aren't even enemies. They're kind of just annoying. It's just like tolerance. I would call it more tolerance to lovers. And I feel like, from what I could gather, Aaron didn't really seem to like hate Catalina. I feel like it was kind of obvious that he likes her from the beginning. That's just what I gathered. I'm not gonna finish the book, but that's just what I feel like. He doesn't seem to actually hate her. I think Catalina is just kind of annoying. She's so whiny and so immature. Isn't she? Like, how old is she? How old are these characters? I don't even know. Like 30? These characters are older than me. And they're acting like this. Like, she's so annoying. It was just tolerance, like I said. It was like tolerance to lovers, which isn't as exciting. Oh boy. I'm not really sure what else to say. It's just the fact that I'm disappointed. Like, the premise of the book sounds fun. I enjoy the fake dating trope every now and then. She needs a date to her sister's wedding because she went through a bad breakup before and she lied to her family that she had a boyfriend. For some reason, I don't know why we're acting like being single is a fate worse than death. It's not that bad, it's actually great. But I guess if she didn't lie to her family saying she had a boyfriend, there would be no plot. But I'm 4 chapters in, and there seems to be no plot. Nothing has happened. Everything is just, it drags on for so long, and that's why I'm not finishing it. It was just so boring, and I don't think I can push through. The audiobook's 14 hours long. No, I'm good. I started reading Normal People instead, and I'm enjoying that a lot more. I really did try to go into that book with an open mind, wanting to like it, wanting to have fun, but unfortunately I was disappointed. This might sound rich coming from me because I disliked what I've read of the Spanish Love Deception when I read and enjoyed the entire Twisted series. At least that series had like crazy, wacky, insane stuff going on. Like, there was kidnappings, there was like mafia drama going on, there was like, I don't know, there was a heist in one of the books, an art heist. At least there was wacky stuff happening. At least it was entertaining. The 4th one, Twisted Lies, that was kind of boring. But at that point I was like, I've made it this far, I might as well finish it. But I had fun with those books. Were they well written? Debatable, but I still enjoyed them. With the Spanish Love Deception, it was just so boring. I couldn't get into it, and I don't think I'll be able to push through it. Like I said, I've moved on to another book. I'm not gonna waste my time reading a book that I'm not enjoying just like for completion purposes. So yeah, I want to spend my time reading books that I enjoy, so that's what I'm gonna do. So Spanish Love Deception, not for me. Sorry. It was too tropey. It was too, I mean, a lot of romance books nowadays are just heavily reliant on tropes, but some of them are done well. This one, no. So I'm gonna continue reading or listening to Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm listening to it on audio. I listened to it while I was braiding my hair last night until like 2 a.m. I'm like halfway through it, and I'm really enjoying it. And I have the first Shatter Me book by Tahara Mafi on hold at my library, and I'm really excited to start that series. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I'm gonna go. Bye. I forgot to mention, another reason why I'm not going to continue reading the Spanish Love Deception is because of that one line where Aaron tells Lena, "I want to feel you milking me, baby." Dry. There's a drought happening. Desert. It's the Sahara down there. No thank you.